Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Teacher Francis Omai, and in our today's class, I'm gonna focus on approximations. Now, this is a simple topic that carries basic concepts in mathematics, and approximations involve some things like writing to decimal places. We have significant figures. We have rounding off, and finally we have something called truncating. Now, in this case, if we talk of the first one is decimal places. We can use one number to solve everything here. Let's say we have a number like 32.7165, and we have a number like 0.5. Yeah, we have a number like 0.5. This one is Roman 1, this one is Roman 2. Now with this one, if you are taught to write to maybe different decimal places, for instance, it could be let's say this one, we're supposed to write this one in terms of 2 decimal places. Now with the first one, 2 decimal places simply means after the decimal you have 2 numbers, this one and this one, and for that case we're going to count 1, 2 from the decimal point. The decimal point is here. Now we check on the third number whether the number is more than 5 or less than 5. It is more than 5, and therefore we add 1 here. And we are going to get our answers 32.72. In this case, the answer is just going to be 0.50, simply because we only have one decimal place, and because we don't have others and we are supposed to write to 2 decimal places, the answer is just going to remain as 0.50. That one is to 2 decimal places. That means 2 numbers after the decimal places, 2 decimal places. If you are to look at 1 decimal place, then you look at the first value, the first number after the decimal point, whether it is 5 or less than 5. The number that we will check at is the number that follows. Now we are going to check on 1, because now we will be looking at 1 decimal place. Now after that we have something called significant figures. Now significant figures simply means from the very first number you count the numbers. If, for example, in this case we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that means for this number 32.7165, this one is in 6 significant figures. Now if the question maybe was asking us to write to, let's say, 5 significant figures, let's say the question has asked us to write into 5 significant figures, then it means we are going to count 1, 2, and then the decimal 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5, and therefore we will check the 6th number. For that reason, in 5 significant figures it will be 32.71, and because this one is more than 5 or 5, then we add 1 here, so it is going to be 32.717. In the other case where we had 0.5 and we write that number to 5 significant figures, then we are going to have 0. Now 0 is not significant when it is before the decimal point at the beginning. 0 is not significant. Therefore we're going to start from here, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and therefore to 5 significant figures it is going to be 0.50000. This one is to 5 significant figures. Now if we have a number like, let's say you've been given that 2x is equals to 3, and then the question says find x to 4 significant figures. What are we going to do if a question is posted? This one is a question that says find x to 4 significant figures. What are we supposed to do? We have 2x is equals to 3, and therefore it means we divide by 2 to get x is equals to 1.5. But the answer, the question says to 4 significant figures. In that case, we're going to write it as 1.5. That means the significant figures in this case are 1, 2. Now that we need to have 4, it becomes 3, 4. Now to 4 significant figures, it is 1.500. This one is to 4 significant figures. It is as simple as that. The third thing is rounding off. Rounding off is almost the same as decimal places, but now this one has something to do with place values and total values. So you have to know we have those place values. For example, we have ones, tens, hundreds. On the side of the decimal places, we have tenth, we have hundreds, and all that. If we are supposed to round off, if we are rounding off, let's say for example to the nearest hundreds, then we are going to check on the number that is at hundredth position, and when we check that, we just do the same as this one of significant figures. For instance, if we have 5.37892, and then the question says round off to the nearest, let's say hundreds. Now this one is ones, and then this one is tenths. This one is tenths. On the decimal points, we start from tens, and that means this one is hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, and then hundreds of thousands. With that, the hundreds will be at that number 7, 5.37892. Now to round off, the hundreds is at this position. This one is the hundreds. Therefore, we check now the number that is on the thousandth position, and if the number is more than 5, then we add here. If the number is less than 5, we just cut. Therefore, we are going to have 5.3, and because this one is more than 5, we add 1 here to get 8. Now the number is rounded off to the nearest hundreds, and that is going to be the answer in our case. The last thing that we are going to check at is truncating, which is very simple. Truncating. And now we ask ourselves, how do we truncate? Truncating is simply cutting. Let's say we have a number like 38.56932, and you're supposed to truncate to 2 decimal places. Let's say you've been told to truncate to 2 decimal places. Now this one is different from rounding off, because if you check on the 2 decimal places, it is 1, 2, and then it means we cut. We are not going to check whether the number is more than 5 or less than 5. So we have 38.56932. If you're told to truncate, you just cut from the 2 decimal places, and the answer is 38.56. That is going to be the answer in our case. Now you can pause for a moment and do this one as an exercise for today. Our exercise for today that says given that 3x is equals to 1, and then find x Roman 1 to 3 significant figures, Roman 2 to 5 decimal places, and then Roman 3 rounding off to the nearest thousands, and the last one truncate to the nearest 5 decimal places, or maybe you can use 3 decimal places. That is the exercise for today, and for this one we'll have the answer as 0.333. Here we have the answer as 0.333. yeah, here we have 0.333 3, and here we have 0.333. That is going to be the solutions to our problems here. Thank you for concentrating. Remember to subscribe and share. God bless you.